All right. We should be. Yep. Looks like we're live, and it looks like I'm right at that 9:15 mark, which doesn't always happen. The Zoom workouts are working out okay. It's a little weird because neither of us have a paid account, so we only have the 45 minutes. Then we spend the last 15 minutes on the phone. But as he said, he's taught me, and I've worked with him long enough that I can usually figure out, how to explain what we're doing. And usually by the time we get to that part, we're at our workout anyway, which that always takes a minute because you have to get down on the floor, get back up off the floor, which is actually surprisingly hard for me to get down to the floor and up to the floor. So I use downward dog. I use a yoga pose to get down to the floor and back up off the floor. So it's interesting. All right, we are doing the hidden power of the Bible, so let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. It's one email a week. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So, quick here now means it. And I'm serious about the one a week, although there is a tropical storm they don't expect it to strengthen into a hurricane, so let's hope it doesn't. Bertha is currently in the Gulf. That would be the reason if something unusual happens, and it's almost always weather related because, like I said, we live on the Gulf Coast. So, yeah. Now, when I say that, we are like an hour from the coast, and we're a good 30, 40 miles from the coast. But still, when it comes to hurricanes, that ain't much. So, I lived in Auburn, Alabama, which is 3 hours from the coast, and it was still a Cat 1 when it hit us. I think that was Hope. That was, back in the 90s. So, but yeah, she was still a Cat 1 when she hit us 3 hours inland. So, but, okay. Obviously have hurricanes on the mind. There was something else. Oh, right. It's a blind CC, so nobody will see your email. Okay? And then I'll mention the social medias merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize the social medias. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you to go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, sharing. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff. So, free and easy way that you can support the center is by getting our stuff in front of more people. All right, and we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Reverend across all of the social medias that I am on. So, the hidden power of the Bible used to be called The Bible in Light of Religious Science. I do think this is a better title. I do have a copy of the book, but it is literally a copy. So this paper in print is actually a little easier for me to read, so hence we're using this one. This one also has the preface by Reverend Jesse, so another good reason to use this copy. And Ernest picked his favorite Bible stories, Bible quotes. He says he picked the ones that are relevant to us today. Yes, I agree with him wholeheartedly. I also think he picked his favorites. So, because you can see, it's not big. It's not big. And at no time would Ernest ever tell you that the whole Bible isn't relevant. It's just, he only had so much time. So, yeah. All right. And this was, I think, one of his earlier books. So, and he is constantly quoting the Bible, and he doesn't cite his sources, so you don't always know where it's coming from. At least in here, he's saying, okay, we're working on Matthew 7, because we read the part of Matthew 7, we read it, and then he'll talk, and then he does a few little essays, and then, you read a little bit more. So we are finishing up Matthew 7 today. So the brotherhood of humanity. If this brotherhood of humanity were recognized and practiced by the world at large, all war, poverty, and need would vanish from the face of the earth. They are creations of the finite mind and were never intended to be. God views all as a perfect whole. Our divisions are only apparent. They can never be real. Hate generates hate. Love begets love. Peace brings its own reward. Again, let us not fall under the illusion that we can possibly measure life from the short range of experience of that time of, let me try that sentence again. Again, let us not fall under the illusion that we can possibly measure life from the short range of experience of that period of time between the cradle and the grave. Life is everlasting, and we are eternal beings. Eventually, love overcometh and exalteth itself above all, for love is a synonym for the eternal heart of the universe. I would suspect that eventually love overcometh and exalteth itself above all is a quote from somewhere, but I don't know where, because, again, Ernest does not cite his sources. Okay, the next one, again, this one's literally a paragraph too. God and creation. Well, and hang on, before I go on to God and creation, the brotherhood of humanity, right? If we could look into each other's eyes, absolutely everybody, and see God looking back at us, we would treat people differently. And I think he's right. War, poverty, and need would vanish because we would want to serve each other. We would want to serve each other the way we claim we want to serve God. Well, one of the easiest ways to serve God is to serve each other and to serve, the environment and all living things. And like, if we could see all of that as God looking back at us, the world would be a better place. I honestly believe that. And it's what I try and do. Am I 100% successful? No. But I try more than I fail. Or I think I like to think that I believe that I succeed more than I fail. And the goal is to keep nudging that, counter a little bit more towards that. All right. So, God and creation. We are to know the truth by its fruits. The sure estimate of reality is ever evidenced by its worth in actual living. We are not to separate life from living, nor God from its creation. One is the cause, the other is the effect. The invisible things of God are manifested through the visible. And unless the invisible thought and desire of humanity is in line with the truth, their acts will fall into error. While we are told not to judge, we are clearly warned not to fall under the illusion of accepting the false for the true, which is where Jesse likes to use the word discernment. Because to a degree, we are expected to judge from the standpoint of, is this good? Is this right? Is this for me? Which is why he likes to use the word discernment, because it doesn't come with the baggage that the word judgment does. Really, honestly, where judgment gets us into the most trouble is when we think we know what's better for other people than they do. That's the problem. I mean, that is about 98% of the problem. When we think we know better for other people than they know for themselves. It goes back to that sentence of, when people tell you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. And believe that people know more about their own experiences than you do. I find people endlessly fascinating. I love to listen to people because they know more about their life and their experiences than I do. And even if they talked for 24 hours straight, I would still barely scratch the surface of who they are. So it is on me to trust that they know what's best for themselves and to help them get there. So, do they all the time? No. And are we called on to guide? Yes. But sometimes the best guidance we can give is by example, not by trying to wrest control away from other people over their own lives. It's like, here, and giving guidance when it's asked for, not just coming in and saying you're doing it wrong. That is definitely one of those, well, you haven't asked for my advice. I may not be in a situation where we are in a relationship where I can just say, hey, would you like some help with that? So in that case, then all I can do is lead by example. Just be the best version of myself that I can, and trust you to be the best version of you that you can be. And then, if there ever comes a time where you do ask, then yeah, I'm happy to help. Or if I'm not the right person, because I'm not all the time, I might know somebody that is. So, yeah. Okay. Last one is entering the kingdom of reality. It is not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, who enters the kingdom of harmony. Only those who do the will of love can enter. Only those who do the will of love can enter. The temple of truth is approached by the pure in heart and entered by those who serve but one master, which is the truth. In no way can this passage be misconstrued to mean or even to suggest anything like the theological hell. Jesus never taught the popular concept of hell. I don't believe the Jews actually had it was not part of their tradition. He was laying down a philosophy of life for time as well as for eternity. He knew that eternity must be made up of different times. To suppose an eternity without the element of time is to suppose an impossibility, for it means to suppose an unexpressed existence. All right, Ernest, we're going to take you at your word there. The wise person builds their house on the solid rock of truth and not on the shifting sands of instability. They measure causes by effects and estimate reality by that which is real and enduring. The foolish person, living only in sense perception, has no measure for reality and builds their home on false opinion and erroneous concept. The vicissitudes of fortune upset their frail building. The storms of experience tear the walls apart, while the edifice falls about them in ruins. Truth alone endures to eternal day. Ugh. So living only in the sense perception. Yeah. It's that dichotomy, not necessarily the dual nature, but the dichotomy of trusting our senses, but understanding that there is something back of our senses. Trusting our intelligence, but understanding that there is something back of our intelligence. Trusting our intuition, which has no basis in fact, and yet is based in every fact we know. Because one of the things that they talk about intuition is that it is, it's that flash of understanding where we can't show our work, but it includes everything we've already done. So entering into the kingdom of reality is about getting beyond the sense perception. We are to trust our senses. We are to believe what our eyes and ears tell us, but understand there is something back of that. That there is something more than that. And from there, yeah. But, only those who do the will of love can enter. Ugh. Yep. So, tomorrow, literally at the bottom of the page is the one line from Matthew 8. And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. Matthew 8. So that is what we are going to do tomorrow. The healing of the centurion servant. So, all right. But right now, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a you got this day, had a good workout day, a cuddle your fur babies day, do that one task that you've been putting off for a minute day, listen to the cat when he tells you there's something wrong day. There's a leak under our sink, and the cat has been warning us about it for a minute. So yeah, we have to take care of that. Be aware of the weather today. It is supposed to hit 102 today with a feels like of 114. Be very aware of the heat today. Drink plenty of water. Stay out of the direct sunlight between 10 and 4. I won't even say 2, because, Bertha is supposed to start sending rain bands in as early as 4. Although we live far enough north, I don't think we'll see anything today. Dance in the rain if you get it. Stay out of the thunderstorms if you get those. Do what you got to do day. Make sure you make time to sit down and rest. I did say drink plenty of water day. I'm so very serious about that day. Stay hydrated day. Cuddle your fur babies day. You got this day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything's possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds. As I said, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. Reverend David should be on around sometime this afternoon. And I believe Danielle's back to doing her wellness midweek meditations, because it is Wednesday. So, yeah, take a look out for that. And I will be back with you tomorrow morning, and we will tackle healing the centurion servant. So, take care of yourself. Know that you